Hey, Twisters. Hope you're having a good weekend so far. We've got ourselves one hell of a matchup this afternoon between the Detroit Red Wings as they're hosting the Colorado Avalanche and what could be it's a little bit of a pipe dream, but not too far off. This could be a Stanley Cup Final matchup. The Detroit Red Wings, for the first time in almost a decade, looking to make the playoffs. They're very comfortably in a top three spot in their division, despite teams like Montreal and Buffalo really challenging now. And as for the Avalanche, well, they've been on a bit of a slide lately. This will be a good test for them as they look to rebound after what's been a bad stretch. 2-4-2 in their last 8 games. They still have a very comfortable lead in their division. I don't see that slipping at any point here. And hopefully they'll get Devon Taves back in the lineup, if not today, very soon, even though they're dealing with Gabriel Landeskog out of their lineup. So anyway, we'll be hanging out here all game long. And also we'll have Russ from Canucks podcast. Nothing is perfect. He's going to be hanging out with us at first intermission to talk NHL trade deadline. So we got Dean hanging out here. We've got Riley joining us. Afternoon, fellas, or well, good morning, I should say, for folks here in the Pacific time zone with the 1 o'clock game Eastern time. But this will be, I would think, a very fun matchup. This might be the best meeting between these two teams that we've seen in 15, 20 plus years, given the history with these teams in the mid 90s all the way up until the early 2000s. Toria says, "Oh, please let it be Abs and Red Wings." I mean, that would just print money automatically. I would be a huge fan of that. If my team, which I don't expect to make it all the way, didn't get into the playoffs or make a deep run. So yeah. Lots of NHL games, of course, happening today, but this would be, I think, the first one. Lots of teams in action. We've got the NHL Stadium Series coming up really soon here too. Rosters are going to freeze very shortly with the. We get Panarin trade news today. That's a great question as well. We'll talk to Russ a little bit about that at first intermission. I hope the Sharks make the playoffs. Yeah. I think they're due, baby. I'm liking our chances, even though it's a very tight pack there for a few teams racing, battling for a few spots. Not happy about the Golden Knights Dallas Stars shootout loss. Well, I mean, hey, they made it a game, right? They weren't they down by 3 goals? I'll take the Red Wings today. We got there's Russ. He's hanging out. I can't wait. Right on, man. Hopefully, I'm not putting you in the hot seat too much for these trade deadline takes, but we'll just have some fun with it. It should be a good time, man. And I've got a link to Russ's channel in the description and also in our pin chat message. So definitely go check it out. Even if you're not a Canucks fan, if you want a good community of hockey fans, I mean, that's one of the best places you'll find one, I believe. Jake, what's going on, man? Good afternoon to you. And hope you're getting through the NFL offseason okay. It's really interesting what's happening over in Minnesota with the Vikings specifically. And even the Twins. I'll take the Red Wings today. Avs have been getting crushed recently, and I think the downward spiral continues. I mean, this is not going to be easy for them, but I think this is kind of a crucial moment for them as they hopefully can have a little bit of momentum going into the Winter Olympics break. I know my Sharks play them in a few days. How was my week? Not bad. It's been busy with a product that my group at work is working on, but I'm surviving just fine. I've still got time to watch the Sharks. That's what matters most. I mean, besides Cortana, who is not on camera right now because she's chewing on a pig's ear over in the hallway here. I'll get her over here soon enough, though. I just need the Wings to lose today. Go Canes. Hurricanes are on a pretty good stretch right now. Boy, that was a crazy win in the Whalers jerseys a few days ago. Will I be streaming during the Winter Olympics? I'm leaning toward yes. But the thing is that the time of the games is really challenging because I'll be at work for a lot of it because these games are happening before noon Pacific time. A lot of them are, at like 4 a.m. for me. But if I can, if I can rally for it, I would like to do it. That's a good question, though. Begrudgingly rooting for the Patriots. Yeah, I know this is probably one where a lot of people are thinking, "Wait, wasn't this not too long ago? Can't we get some new blood in there?" But, I'm hoping the Seahawks win. Even though I'm from Niners territory originally. I'm not a Seahawks fan. I'm not on the bandwagon per se, but, I'm on the sandwagon. Let's go. My hands started shaking with excitement during the, Whalers game over the Mammoth, and thank you for the victory too. That helped my Sharks a little bit. But yeah, I mean, dude, look at this. The top 3 in the Central Division, Avs with 79 points. Stars and Wild are also in the 70s, and then in the in the Atlantic Division, that's the one that the Red Wings are in. Even though the Red Wings, we know they belong in the Western Conference. Come on, I understand why they moved, but it's all about the old rivalries the Wings had. But yeah, they've got some competition, man. The Sabres are like 23-1 in their last 24 games, and also, the Montreal Canadiens have still been playing really well too, and the Lightning have been super hot. So the Red Wings have to just keep winning to keep pace here, but they've mostly proven that they've been able to do that. I knew it was going to be a successful year for them. We got Hockey from Home hanging out with us. Thanks for jumping in here. Super Bowl 49 rematch. Oh man, that's crazy that we're already on Super Bowl 60. But yeah, I'm hoping the Seattle Seahawks win this one. Mostly for Sam Darnold. I also like the way they play. That they're such a well built and a very well coached team for that matter too. So anyway, I'm good but not feeling well. Have a fever. Oh, well, I'm sorry. I hope that you've been able to get some sleep at least, and hopefully there's not too much stress around you. You know, people try to push themselves too much when they're sick. You know, they go to work or they're working just as much as they normally would do. I don't do that myself. I'm just like, nope. if you're gonna get on my case for being sick, something's definitely wrong with you. But I've been healthy. I haven't been sick in quite some time, thankfully. Knock on wood. But yeah, we got the Super Bowl in 8 days now. The Wings are gonna wear their centennial jerseys. Well, that's a treat. Speaking of treats, come here, Cortana. Come on, kiddo. Here, let's say hi to Cortana. Come here. Yep, and for anybody who hasn't been around in the last couple of weeks, on the 18th, Cortana has celebrated her 12th birthday. So she's 12 years young. And hopefully we have some goals today so that she can get some treats. I can't wait for the rematch between the Sharks and the Knights. I mean, there's a chance. It could definitely happen. I'm not banking on it, but it could certainly happen. Here's hoping Rob Gronkowski isn't wrong. Oh, well, geez, I wonder who he picked. Cortana is the goodest girl. Well, she's tied for the goodest girl because we've got another pupper potentially hanging out with us today. Not in my house, but Russ's dog, Dobby. Yeah, his dog's name is Dobby. It's a mini Aussie, and he's adorable. So hopefully Dobby will have a chance to say hi to us today too. There you go. That's good hockey from home. I'm glad that you took some time off there. Yeah, it's awful going, especially if you have to work actually in person. Yeah, nobody should be doing that. Wild are almost all but locked into taking on the Stars. Yeah, I can't see any other situation because we've got under 30 games to play now. I want Drake May to play in the Super Bowl and win. So yeah, North Carolina can be the sixth college to produce a president and a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Oh, huh. That is a bit of trivia that I would not know. And you work in person with kids. Yeah, that's very smart that you stayed away from that. Good girl, Cortana. All right, girl, Cortana, why don't you come hang out? Why don't you hang out? We got your camera set up. You got a fluffy bed. We already played. We played frisbee today. Anyway, drop your score predictions in the chat today. So far, when I look at this poll, just a few people have voted, but people are leaning toward the Avalanche. I mean, when we talk about fan bases represented in this community, besides the Sharks, I'd say probably the next two biggest just might be the Avalanche and the Red Wings. Okay, well, we wish you a speedy recovery. Just taking Dobby for a walk. I'm listening as we go. Right on. It's so funny because when you use the emojis, for some reason, it says, "Oh, because you're using the Thrashers one." StreamYard doesn't actually show me the emoji, so it says Thrash. That's funny. 4-0 Avs. Whoa, that would get them back on the wagon, huh? Avs 5-4. Now that's a score prediction I would like to see. I'd like to see a game just like that. I don't really care who wins though. 5-3 Avs. So we're leaning towards some goals. Cruising down the street in my 6 faux Colorado. Hopefully, he made the prediction on the Tonight Show with on the Super Bowl. Right on. Yeah, but that's great that Russ is going to get Dobby a walk. That's being a responsible pet parent. Cortana already got her exercise as well. Well, I mean, some of it. She'll get some more later on. And actually, we'll give her a treat because she sat down in her bed. Here, treat. Oh, darn it. All right, we're about to get underway here from the big pizza box in Detroit. Has anybody here actually been to Little Caesars Arena? Happy birthday to Cortana. Happy birthday. That's right. It's your birthday month, but it ends tomorrow. Or I guess it ends tonight. All right. So we're getting started here. Now, Devon Taves was actually out of the lineup for the Avs last game. I didn't see anything about him returning. Hopefully he is in the lineup. That'd be awesome. But apart from him and Landeskog, most of the Avalanche's main talents are still out there on the ice. I'll be watching a bootleg stream here, so I can't exactly react in real time because there often is some sort of lag with that. But here comes Larkin as the Wings wearing their centennial jerseys. Red Wings setting up the cycle here. Looks like, is that Blackwood in net for the Avs? I mean, it doesn't really matter who you put in net. Both goaltenders have had very good seasons so far, although Blackwood started the season injured for a while there. Oh, Kane almost had a backdoor opportunity there. Patrick Kane, of course, becoming the all-time scorer among American-born players. You still miss the Joe? Boy, if I could go back in time, that's one of the first places I would choose to see. Here's a chance, and might have gone off the glove of Blackwood there. The Avs will come the other way. The second line out there with Brock Nelson, who was acquired at last year's trade deadline. And speaking of which, that's what we're going to be talking about at first intermission. And we'll also have a live stream set up for the trade deadline day. I might actually take that day off of work. I haven't decided on that yet. Kings and Flyers are playing, and LA's already up 2-0. Well, that's not good for if you're a fan of a team in the Pacific. Avs driving the net, though. And knocked away by, looks like Raymond on that play. Raymond is actually the Red Wings' leading scorer. I guess that's not entirely a surprise, but you have a good balance of various weapons on that team. Raymond coming in with 58 points, 18 goals, 40 assists. DeBrincat right there, he's already got 30 goals and 27 assists. Moritz Seider is the leading defenseman on Detroit with 7 goals and 30 assists. Guess who leads the Avalanche in scoring, right? No surprise. MacKinnon, 38 goals, 50 assists. Necas, 22 goals, 40 assists. I think he's cooled down a little bit as of late, but he's still having a very good first full season with the Avs. And, of course, Cale Makar, 15 goals, 41 assists, as he is right there at the forefront of the Norris Trophy conversation. OTL, Merchant, Golden Knights. Facts. And I think the Kings, too, for that matter. Why is it that the Kings can beat anybody on the road and they just absolutely suck turd at home? It's very odd. I would love to go to Tea Garden. I've been there. It's been about 11 years since I was last there. I went to an afternoon game, though. I would think an evening game probably would be a little bit more exciting. All right, my car's back out there. Gets around to Brinket. Feeds the point shot off the end boards. Maybe the Kings just hate their fans. Yeah, I'm curious to see if they load up at the trade deadline, because they're one of those bubble teams and they were supposed to get in, and Andrei Kopitar, of course, is retiring at the end of the season. Here comes the Red Wings on a 2-on-1, and that goes just wide of Blackwood's glove. Oh wait, that was just a replay. My bad. How do I feel about the Pred season so far? Well, I mean, they've done a nice job turning things around to a degree, but I wouldn't expect them to be in the playoff conversation going forward. I just think that there are too many teams that have probably a better group of talent in the Mammoth, of course, in their own division, and even the Ducks. I would say I think that they would make a push more likely than Nashville will. So I'm curious though, like to see if Stamkos's name surfaces in trade rumors, because I haven't heard anything recently. Kopitar's back in the lineup. Oh, I didn't even know that he had missed some time there. Cortana left because Mrs. Twister just got back. We're loading up on Cortana's food, and she's saying, "All right, when's it going to be ready for me?" All right. Avalanche sending this around the Red Wings net. Good defensive support there. I don't know if that was Rasmussen. DeBrincat, and now shot, and Blackwood, with no traffic in front of him, makes the save there with the first 4.5 minutes gone by. We got, hey, what's going on, Bill? How you doing, man? The rivalry is dead. I am now hating on the Habs. How doesn't wait, is that who the Avalanche lost to in their last game? Good to see you here, man. It's been a while. It's good to see you. Montreal, certainly knocking on the door for a top spot, or a top 3 spot, albeit they're actually in a wild card spot if you look at points percentage, because I think Buffalo's in 3rd now in terms of having the better record. Sabres. We're talking about the Sabres here. But I still see Alex Tuch's name on trade talk. I know that they need to extend him, of course, but he's kind of a vital piece for them, isn't he? There's Royal Rumble today. Where's that being held? All right. We'll catch you later, Vanessa. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Avs threatening here. A couple shots off the side of the net. And former Avalanche, Timothy Comfer, getting the puck clear, albeit the Avs very aggressive coming over on a line change. And now Sam Girard. Oh, and that went all the way down Main Street there and might have ramped up Talbot or Gibson's pad or something, but the Red Wings able to avert disaster, at least temporarily. There's Makar, and a nice save there. 2 saves by Gibson. And the Red Wings are able to dump this down and get a change. That was an interesting sequence there. Riyadh is now hosting Royal Rumble. That's interesting. I remember last season the Lightning were interested in Alex Tuch, but nothing happened there. Yeah, is Tampa Bay going to be one of the big buyers? It's amazing what they've been able to do without Hedman in their lineup. And I think, didn't Point miss some time as well? Larkin's able to get this clear, but looks like the Avalanche have taken some momentum in this game here. Here comes MacKinnon. Onto the wing. He's got Bernsey. A shot. He scores! Brent Burns, 40 years young, and the Avalanche strike first. Cortana, lie down. All right, we'll give Cortana a treat for that. Oh. Having a little trouble catching. Great patience from MacKinnon, waiting for Burns to enter the zone, and then Burnsy wires one past John Gibson. Probably not the only time he's done that in his career. And the Avs had been really pouring on the momentum there for a couple of minutes. Yeah, it depends on what Breezeball can pull off. I mean, it seems like he's I think getting a little bit more skilled with making the best of the resources he has. Let's go, Burnsy. Yep. Shedding my velvet. Hey, what's going on, man? Thanks for joining us here. Don't forget, we got Canucks podcaster not Theo. That's you. Russ from Nothing Is Perfect joining us at first intermission. It's his debut on this channel. It's funny. I've been on his channel several times, but I have not really been inviting people on up until most recently when we got Mason from It's About Hockey. So we're going to start doing that more often. We're going to be live. Oh, DeBrincat just wide of the pad of Blackwood, by the way. We're going to have on Monday a live stream. The Sharks will be taking on the Blackhawks. So Celebrini versus Bedard. That's a pretty great ticket. And joining us then will be Puck Guy 14, Eric, from Teal Town, USA. He's been podcasting on YouTube with his channel for over a decade. So he's pretty OG in this space. So I'm happy to bring him on. We've got a 2027 Stadium Series matchup between the Golden Knights and the host Dallas Stars. I think that's really great. I think that's a really good matchup. I like that quite a bit. And I think the teams should still be pretty competitive heading into next year too. Could have swore that I was on, or that I had Russell on at one other point. I may have. I looked up my library, I guess. We're in a commercial break, by the way, and I didn't see him mentioned in any of my content. So we're gonna pretend like it's his debut. We're gonna roll out the red carpet. It's the Red Wings, after all. Yeah, man. Brent Burns, who, by the way, next month turns 41. We could definitely have another Ray Bork moment. I would love that. Okay, Burns is not Bork. I understand that, but I think that a Stanley Cup would certainly make him a Hall of Famer. And I think he's still in the conversation, even if he doesn't win the Stanley Cup. Excited for the Stadium Series tomorrow, Lightning and Bruins. And hey, that's a very possible first-round matchup. I think that right now, if the playoffs started based on teams' record, the Lightning and Bruins would play each other in the first round. So what looks like it wouldn't mean anything, right? Because the Bruins, I didn't expect anything from them this year. I thought maybe they'd be a little bit better than last year, but they've been on a tear over the past month. Burns' longevity is insane. That's right. He's riding one of the longest consecutive game streaks ever. And yeah, he was part of the 2003 draft, one of the very few players left from that draft. But so far, some pretty exciting action. I am enjoying that. And I'm enjoying your company, of course. All you Twisters are fantastic. Oops, as I almost kick over Cortana's camera. It is like right in front of my desk. Bill says, go Avs, go. Well, here comes Detroit. Larkin takes a hit from Burns. It rims around toward the point. JVR feeds the point. And it's Axel Sandin Pellikka out there for Detroit. Back to the point where Sider is a shot, looking for the tip with Raymond on the doorstep. He's got it behind the net. A soft backhander that he'll receive coming back his way. He gets it back to Mo. At the top of the circle, that pass skipped over his stick. Burns nearly able to check it. And we get a puck out of play. Lots of great games today. I'm looking forward to Habs and Sabres. Oh, absolutely. I mean, between that and this right here, those got to be the games of the day, right? It's one part of me is kind of upset that we have to, have a few weeks off, but I mean, some of the guys that you see here are going to be playing in Milan in just a little bit. Tommy Boy, greetings, Twisters. Always fun to see Abs and Red Wings. Yeah, I mean, this is probably the most exciting it's been to see these teams take each other on. Tom McClellan, of course, the head coach for the Red Wings. He has beaten the Avalanche in the playoffs before, back in 2010, I want to say. Really? Cortana. Wait, babe, she already got one. Oh my gosh. The Sabres that might actually make the playoffs. The Eastern race, of course, is formidable. It's a daunting task to make the playoffs there. By the way, the Wings are on a power play for another 50 seconds. But I think we can safely say that the Sabres should be in the playoffs because record wise, I don't think anybody you see the separation between those teams and the rest of the pack. Like Columbus, I think is the ninth seed right now, and there's a pretty sizable gap between them and the Bruins as the second wild card. We got Ethan hanging out with us. Hey, what's up, man? And boy, talk about another team that's been surprising this year. The Islanders. I had no expectation for them to be anywhere near the playoffs, but Matthew Schaefer is having just a historic year as an 18-year-old defenseman. We have not seen anything like this in forever, I don't think. You've attended the New Year's Eve game 3 years in a row, and you crushed St. Louis 4 goals against Binnington in 6 minutes. Yikes. Yeah, Binnington has not had much luck this year with keeping the team afloat. Their teams below the playoff line has more than 59. Yeah, I mean that is a pretty sizable gap at this point. The Leafs are dead last. Yeah, that's bonkers, isn't it? I did not see that coming at all. Absolute dogfight. Yeah. Schaefer's a beast. I'm flabbergasted. That's a great word. Now, about halfway through this period, Nichushkin getting the puck deep as MacKinnon will take it from around the net. Circles. Good stick check there to just disrupt him for a moment. And with some traffic in front of the net, MacKinnon puts it in. Nichushkin using that big frame of his, and the Avs take a 2-0 lead. Hey, Cortana's not going to get a treat right now. She's chewing on another pig ear. Cortana, treat. Treat. And now Mrs. Twister is trying to get her in here. Come here. Come here. Here, we'll put Cortana on. There we go. That's her goal treat. Look at that. But yeah, MacKinnon already has a goal and a primary assist. Absolute beastly. Oh, by the way, I got to sound the goal horn. There we go, and shout out to PG-13 Hockey Man, whose goal horns I'm downloading and using for these productions. Your fantasy team's doing good. Oh, you got MacKinnon. That's good. She's got a stylish jacket. Yeah, she's dressed for the occasion. And DeBrincat had a chance in transition there, but Girard got a piece of it with his stick. Otherwise, he was in alone against Blackwood. He's so unfairly good this season. I mean, I think that look, McDavid is the white wizard or whatever you want to call him as we get to a commercial break. But I mean, MacKinnon is still I think in my opinion, he's probably still the most exciting player to watch. Leafs could be sellers at the deadline. I think Marner has messed up the team chemistry. Well, I would think that it has to have had that effect. I didn't think it would be that bad. Kraken are quietly having a decent season considering the Pacific is the NFC South of hockey. Well said. Yeah, they're right in the mix there. I didn't think they would be, but then again, nobody really wants third in that division. Nobody really wants second. I mean, the Oilers. If my Sharks would have held on in regulation against the Oilers, they would be in second place in that division by record. Tiago, what's going on? Hey, thanks for joining us. What a great day. At least it's still very early here. We've got a historic rivalry renewed, even though nobody's been punching each other or anything like that yet. Claude Lemieux is not on the ice last time I checked. And then right after this, I've got the Sharks game. They're playing the Flames. How's Cortana? Cortana's doing awesome. Very healthy now at 12 years young. We were just playing some Frisbee outside earlier. And she didn't want to stop playing, honestly. Yeah, the Pacific is the NFC South. I felt like they let him go at the wrong time now that the East is so competitive. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you could have anticipated that the Sabres would be as good as they are this year, or the Bruins for that matter. But in hindsight, you're absolutely correct. Red Wings Centennial jerseys are beautiful. Absolutely. That would be a fun one to collect. I mean, it's right up there with that 2014 Winter Classic. Of course, as you guys could probably guess, I'm rocking just a normal home jersey. But of course, we've got the Magic Man, Pavel Datsyuk. Speaking of exciting players. All right. You guys are a fantastic crowd. I mean, some of you 10 in the morning here, we're just getting the motor going a little bit. But as we watch this matchup in the Motor City, you are being a wonderful chat. So thank you so much. The crazy thing with the Kraken, just getting back to Dean's point, is that they just really don't have a top line producer on that team. I mean, nobody's even close to a point per game the last time I checked. All right, the fourth line out there for the Wings. Gustafsson had that checked away by, I don't think that was Malinsky, but Avs will come the other way. They have 2 goals on just 5 shots. The Red Wings have mustered a total of 3. They even got the Meyer helmet ad to match the styling. It's too bad that they have a patch on there. And they score again? Or was that off the post? That was ruled no goal. But that was a rifle of a shot there from, I couldn't tell who that was for the Avs. I think it was Parker Kelly. But the visitors are certainly threatening here. Now, here's Ben Sherratt, who, by the way, was recently extended 3 more years. Trust the Yzer plan. I used to like Ben Sherratt quite a bit, actually, when he was with the Habs. By the way, I think the only team in the NHL that has not had a sponsor on their jersey is my Sharks, because nobody wants to sponsor them, but I'm okay with that. Pro Bowl, what's going on? Who do I want for the Super Bowl? Seahawks or Patriots? I'm going for the Seahawks. As a Vikings fan, I'd be happy to see Sam Darnold win. And I live in Seahawks territory, so I'm cool with it. My cousin lives in Seattle. He's a huge Seahawks fan. One of my really good friends who is officiating my wedding is he married into a Seahawks family, so we'll go for that. Rangers don't have a sponsor. Oh, they haven't had a sponsor yet, have they? By the way, I gave you a shout out earlier because anytime somebody scores, I use a cut from your goal horns. So if you guys like goal horns, PG-13 Hockey Man is a destination of choice. Is Beniers at a point per game level? I don't think he's anywhere close to that. He's got 37 points in 53 games. He's turned it on a little bit recently, but I don't think he was ever expected to be quite that player. It's just they don't have finishers on that team. I mean, like, they're even thinking about trading Shane Wright. I mean, that's crazy, man. I'm hoping Berkeley Catton can change that narrative for the Kraken. As he was drafted out of Spokane. And now he's starting to get things going. I like seeing that. He's now up to 5 goals and 6 assists. So I certainly wish Berkeley Catton the best as he develops with Seattle. McCann, yeah. And Eberle, it's like I wouldn't to expect him to be that top line producer that at this point in his career. I don't think that's fair per se. Canucks will happily take Shane Wright. Well, we'll be talking about what the Canucks could do at the trade deadline a little bit here, as Russ is going to join us. We got about 7 minutes left in this period. I want Seattle to win it, but I could see the Pats taking it. Man, isn't that? Did you see that that promo image from the beginning of the year where you had all the main players like walking toward the? It was an illustration of all these players walking toward the stadium, and guess what? At the very front were two guys, Drake May and Sam Darnold. His hype was so high, he's kind of a bust. I mean, we'll have to see if a change of scenery can affect that, can twist that narrative. By the way, Brent Burns, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Brent Burns is now tied all time with Bobby Orr for 8th all time among defensemen in goals. Albeit, I have to say, of course, Burns played a few seasons at forward, but that doesn't affect the numbers too much, right? Seattle's a very interesting sports city because the Seahawks and the Mariners are really good, and the Kraken are just kind of mid. Not to mention, I think the Sounders are pretty much perennially one of the best teams in Major League Soccer. They're right up there. We just got to get the Supersonics back. The Seahawks defense is unpredictable. That's an advantage, but they let up 27 points to the Rams in the title game. That was a really good game. But the Seahawks were mostly in control of that one. Burnsy was elite, especially in San Jose. Yeah, he's a Norris Trophy winner back in 2017. That year, Burns finished 4th in Hart Trophy voting. If he was a Hart finalist, he would have joined a very rare group of defensemen since Bobby Orr to actually be nominated for the Hart Trophy. The only other guys after Bobby Orr to be nominated for the Hart among defensemen are, I kid you not, Ray Bork. He did it twice. And the other one was Chris Pronger, and he won it. The taunting penalty? Oh, I'd have to go back to see what happened there. I was watching it at a sports bar. We're at a commercial break, by the way. Michael Russo put him on the Wild's all-time roster. I guess that would make sense in that Burns was an all-star, and the Wild haven't had that many like superstar players, right? I would think you'd have Kaprizov on there. You'd probably have, I mean, going back to way back in the day, who would you get, right? Who would you select? Gaborik? Probably Koivu. It'd be fun to actually try to build a roster, an all-time roster for them. But yeah, there weren't that many other guys that you would put from that era. I would think that Parisi and Suter, if you're doing a 20-man roster, would be on there as well. You're starting Blackwood and Nuke in fantasy. Is Nuke Nichushkin? Because Nuke, for some reason, I think of Nugent Hopkins because it sounds like Nuke, like DeAndre Hopkins. The Montreal Rubber Duckies. How about the Montreal Poutine? Or Poutine. That's apparently the correct way to say it. Yeah, Burns was a Norris Trophy winner, and I think 2 or 3 other times he was a finalist. Maybe just 2 other times. But yeah. Yeah, what was that? 2011, the Sharks made a couple of trades with the Wild. And Burns was, it didn't take too long for him to really show that he belonged with the Sharks organization. And that was fun. You had Brent Burns and you had Dan Boyle on the same team for a little bit there. Just don't hear a lot about his time in Minnesota. Well, I mean, he's had a lengthy career. And, I mean, that career is almost as long as his beard. There we go. Okay, so about 5:45 left here in this period. The Red Wings doesn't show their shots, but they just haven't been able to sustain much pressure after since the first, I'd say probably 7 or 8 minutes. They did have that power play, but they didn't do a whole lot with it. All right. By the way, hope you guys are having a good time with us. Make sure to leave a thumbs up. That does help the channel. And stick around because we've got our first intermission guest in just a little bit here. People think that the Seahawks are gonna blow out the Patriots. Nah, I couldn't see that personally. Lightning legend Dan Boyle, yeah, 2004 Stanley Cup winner. He almost he almost was a Norris Trophy finalist around that time too. Hi, Cortana. Hi, girl. What are we gonna do, Cortana? Are you deprived? Do you need a treat? Here, we'll give Cortana that goal treat from earlier. Here, we'll go, sweetie. Oh, sorry. There you go. Sorry. Good girl. All right, Avs cycling it to the point. Here's Makar. Winds up. He shoots and just able to hold on to it in his pads is Gibson. Lots of pressure at the net there from the Avalanche. And they are certainly looking like a different team than the past 8 games. Kopitar is probably getting into the Hall of Fame. He's got to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. 2 Stanley Cups. I think he has 2 Selke trophies, well over 1,000 points, captain of the team. And some might consider him the greatest LA King of all time. And that's saying something when you talk about Robitaille, Gretzky, of course, for the time he was there, Rob Blake, Marcel Dion, Jonathan Quick, for that matter. Imagine if the Avs still had Rantanen. I mean, Natchez is still holding his own pretty darn well. I mean, I think that the Avs are better off with the combination of Natchez and also, I know that he wasn't part of that trade, but same year, right, that Blackwood gets traded over. And now the Red Wings are going to draw a power play here, or draw a penalty as Comfort gets taken down. Parker Kelly's going to go to the penalty box. Blitz in the house. Hey, what's going on? Thanks for joining us here. And Dustin Brown, Drew Doughty. Dustin Brown is, of course, kind of more the fan favorite because, like, he's not going to make the Hall of Fame, but he still had a remarkably successful career. Brock Nelson's been showing up a lot too. Brock Nelson, man, looks like he could be my uncle, and I'm older than he is. The Lumberyard, Blackwood and Wedgwood. That's a fun name for a tandem. All right, Wings on the power play. Sider's got it at the point. Over to DeBrincat, a shot. Don't think that reached Blackwood's glove. It deflected out of the play. Cortana, what are we doing, girl? She keeps coming in and out. Hi. Are you gonna join us? Are you a good girl? Here, come over here, get a treat. Whoop. Oh wait, whoops! I didn't even have her on camera. There she is. All right, Raymond at the top of the circle, a shot, and Blackwood might have gotten a piece. But now it's back at the point for Sider. Raymond one-timer, and getting to the post was Blackwood to make the save. Go lie down. People want to see you. All right. Raymond's going to methodically bring this up the ice. Now to Larkin. Good support by the Avalanche along the half boards. That's the Boudin alert. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Do I think the Sharks can secure a playoff spot? I did, yeah. I actually just made a video about that. So I would recommend checking that out. I'm not sure how well they can play without Celebrini. Well, there won't be any NHL games during the Olympics. So the NHL is taking, I think, 18 days off between games. So nobody's going to play. And then when they come back, they have a couple of games, and then they'll have the trade deadline. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Zegras Yeah, Zegras has been excellent for them. I mean, he's a very big reason why they stayed in playoff contention. Actually, well, let's see here. We got Russ already here in my queue, which is awesome. I think probably what we'll do is we'll watch the rest of this power play, and then we'll bring him on. Why not? So we got about 20 seconds left here on this power play. 2:36 left here in the period. Fluttering it over to Gustafsson. And now an Axel Sandin Pellikka. Unless it's Pellikka. I just think it's Finnish. It sounds Finnish. It's Pellikka, All right, Abs kill. And Kelly, a shot. It goes off the end boards. Kane trying to poke it away. It stays in at the point, and here's Makar. Nichushkin, he shoots and just wide of Gibson's pad. Wings are able to get the clear. Russ will bring you in on the whistle. Make it official. Pretty confident the Penguins are going to make the playoffs. It's crazy. Second place in the Metropolitan Division. Or at least second best record. But can the Penguins win a playoff game? Well, as long as Crosby doesn't get, cheap shot like Trouba did a few years ago. Sharks are young and exciting. They were 44 points out of the playoffs last year. A first matchup with Colorado would be great if they could get the number 2 wild card. I would, it's so funny because it's like, that would sound like a death wish, but it would be an achievement just to make the playoffs. I would still rather the Sharks play the Avalanche than the Golden Knights. But right now, if you look technically at points percentage, I think that it's distorting things a little bit here, but the Sharks would actually play the Oilers because they're in third place in their division now. Could have been in second, but that thought was very short-lived. All right, 45 seconds left in the period. Raymond feeding the back door there. And a great back check. I didn't see who that was for the Abs, but that takes some momentum away potentially from Detroit. Wings are threatening here, though, in the final minute with the top line out. Seider's going to rim this around. The Avs are gassed. Seider shoots and blocked in front. Shoveled out of the zone with now 15 seconds left. The Wings, if they want to hurry, they could certainly rush it up the ice one more time. Skinner's a whole new goalie in Pittsburgh. So far, he is, isn't he? All right, that's going to be it for the first period. So a great start for the Avalanche. The Wings threatening late there. They've had a couple power plays, but they haven't been able to do a whole lot with that. All right, so we're going to bring on Russ from Canucks podcast. Nothing is perfect. We do welcome as many refugees from the Canucks fan base community in Twister Brister Hockey. We're happy to bring you on board here and give you a team to root for potentially. But Russ, you've been creating content on YouTube for a while here. Why don't you tell us a little bit about Nothing is Perfect? Because I think you might have appeared one. All right. Hey, welcome to the stream.
Oh, we're back.
Say hello, my friend.
How's it going? Thanks for having me on. We started to do the Canucks content after our run to the Game 7 against the Edmonton Oilers. So we picked up at just the wrong time because we started creating content the next year, and that's when the JT Miller and PD drama got into full swing. But as a Canucks fan, we are very used to having chaos within our ranks. And one of the normal things that we do on this show is we read from a book called Never Boring, The Up and Down History of the Vancouver Canucks, which is just essentially a giant list of everything that team has ever done wrong. But we love doing kind of this kind of thing, bringing you on. I think we've had you on, what was that, like 4 times or something like that now? So it's always good to have you on. And yeah, we have lots of fun. It's a watch party for every single Vancouver Canucks game. We cover the Abbey Canucks a little bit too, which is the AHL affiliate. And then we also cover the new PAWHL team, the Vancouver Golden Eyes, when we can. And got guests. We do trivia, which you inspired me to do. So we've done some trivia. There's tier lists. So it's lots of fun here on Nothing is Perfect. And we got to entertain ourselves during Canucks games because let's be honest, this year has been a little bit tough for the team.
Yeah, I think one thing that you could actually try out once or twice would be a Canucks drinking game, perhaps.
Yeah, every time the Canucks disappoint me during the game, you do a shot, right?
That's about right.
Yeah.
Tanked by the first commercial break.
Yeah.
And do you have Dobby there with you?
Dobby, come here, buddy. Let's get you a treat, but oh, he's right between my legs. Oh my goodness. Come here, fluffy boy.
There's a Wild fan in our chat who's already chirping you, saying he uses ours.
You can have him. He's not as good as Makar anyways.
Oh my gosh, look at this happy boy. And how old is Dobby? Or how young, I should say?
Well, Dobby will be turning 6 next month, so it'll be February 18th is his birthday, so he's turning 6. And as you can see, he is very focused because we have one of his favorite treats here. So I figured.
Oh my goodness, what a good boy! And everybody, all the great people and pets are born on the 18th of the month.
Yeah.
Cortana's birthday is January 18th.
There you go. So you guys are only a month apart in your birthdays. That's cute. Yeah, so Dobby shows up every once in a while, usually when I need to distract everyone from the Canucks as well.
Yeah. And on the subject of the Canucks, of course, we want you to talk a little bit about your favorite team, and then we'll get into the trade deadline stuff. But who would you say is which young Canuck are you looking forward to seeing the most of in the next couple of years?
Well, I think that's one thing as Canucks fans we are very pleased with is we do have quite a good group of young talent, mostly coming from our D core. So like Tom Wielander has been impressing us very much this year as a young defenseman. Even DPD, as we call him, he's Elias Pettersson because we have more than one of those. And he was, I mean, even just the feistiness he shows as a young guy. Anyone pokes the goalie, he'll come in and show them what for. And then, I mean, we're just hoping, and I know Elias Pettersson has taken a lot of shots in the media and in general, but we're just hoping we can find someone for him to play with, and hopefully he can turn things around. So I'm looking forward to getting a high draft pick this year, maybe a Stenberg over McKenna, because I think that would maybe be a good way to revitalize EP40.
Actually, I was going to ask you about that, if you had a preference between Stenberg, McKenna, or even like Verhoff, because right now, at least from last time I checked, you are in line to have the highest odds at the draft lottery.
Yeah, we are firmly in dead last. Calgary's just above us. I think it's a 7-point gap, but they also have another game to play so we could quite easily be back to 9 points in last place. But as a Canucks fan, I'd like to remind everyone that on the very first day of our existence, we lost 3 lotteries to the Buffalo Sabres on our first day. So we will think that'll trend will continue. So it depends on where we end up. I always go back and forth between McKenna and Stenberg because there's a lot of things that I think Stenberg does that come from a gritty place that I don't know if we're seeing from McKenna. But McKenna just seems like he might be that like Kucherov Jr. And if you just can't turn down a talent that's going to be that good. But as a Canucks fan, like I said, we're used to losing draft lottery, so we may end up just drafting third, and I'd be fine with Verhoff too as that third overall pick because he seems like he's going to be an absolute stud, and he's a big boy. So you need a lot of beef there on the back end. So I have no problem adding to our D-core that way.
Yeah, I personally, going into this year, I said, Sharks, just be you. It's okay. We'll accept another top 3 pick because that's exactly the guy who the Sharks need in their org. And I think that, when you look at the Kiefer Sherwood trade, although he could certainly be a good addition to this core of Sharks forwards, having as many draft picks as possible to trade up would be ideal in my opinion. But anyway, I want to bring in this comment here from Tenchi. I thought the Philip Hedl trade would have helped Vancouver, but his injuries have hampered the team, among other things. I mean, shoot, has he even played half a season for you guys?
No. I think he played 6 games to start this year. I believe he played maybe 4 or 5 games last year. He's been back in the lineup for the last couple. He has been moved to the wing. Normally he does play center. So there is some talk that maybe playing on the wing would be easier for him to stay healthy. But I mean, the first injury he received was getting hit into the boards. The second injury he had for us was getting hit in open ice. So I don't know if he's safe anywhere out there. So as a healthy guy, he is a puck mover. He can hang onto the puck. He gets the puck deep, and he definitely goes hard to the net. But with the amount of injuries to his head that he's had, it's for us. It's just kind of it's one of those things. Is just watching it as a human, you're just worried that the guy is going to receive another knock to the head that's going to end his career, and that's just not something you want to see on a day-to-day basis while watching the Canucks.
Yeah, I mean, he could still have so many more years left in his pro career, so that would be just devastating. And of course, from one of our regular viewers here, Jake, who is a Wild fan, as you can see in the name here. How are you liking the guys who came over in the return for Hughes?
Well, it's funny because Rossi came over and played, I think, 1 or 2 games and is back on the IR. So he's been out. So we haven't really got a good chance to look at him. But the team has coveted him for a long time. The rumors have been out there for a long time. So we're looking forward. Once he gets back, apparently he'll be back for after the Olympic break. So we're excited to see what he can do as a solid 2C for us because we haven't really had that all year long. Bouillon has been he came out with like a bat out of hell to start, got 2 points in his first game, and you can see he's got some wheels and some size and some hockey knowledge. So we're very excited. He as well has been injured. He took the puck to the face the other day, so he will be out probably for a little while. And I'd say probably the favorite from the fans so far has been Ogren, and just an absolute beast out there skating hard, digs pucks out of corners, and has just got the foot speed that we don't really have on the Canucks so far. And the other thing that Canucks fans are very excited about is he played on a very good junior line with our boy Lecker, and they just got reunited last game. So we're looking to see that again tonight. They're playing against Toronto, so we're going to see Lecker with Max Sasso and Ogren together. So we're very excited to see what those two boys, if they can rekindle some of that magic. But overall, the Canucks fans were not happy that we had to give up Hughes. It is what it is. But we are very happy with the package that we got back from your boys, Jake. 4 first-round draft picks is great for us, and that's a really good start to our rebuild.
And there you go, using the word that you don't often hear in Vancouver, rebuild. I was going to say, I would imagine that arena, especially with its Winter Olympics history, will probably actually have some watch parties during the Winter Olympics, but maybe not just for Team Canada. I would almost think that you guys would be able to fill out at least half that space for Sweden.
Yep, you can see that. I mean, that's funny because the Canucks have over the years historically had a lot of Olympic players. You don't expect the 32nd team to have as many as we do, but between the Abbotsford Canucks and the Vancouver Canucks, I believe we have 6 Olympians going. So even Reichel, who we got from Chicago earlier, will be going to represent Germany. We've got another guy who you guys probably haven't heard of is Andre Ravinskis. He'll be playing for Czechia at the Olympics as well. And then Petey and Lankinen and Phil Hronek. So it's going to be it'll be fun. That's, as a Canucks fan, we kind of have a lot to cheer for, as well as Canada, because a lot of us up here are going to be cheering. And it's weird though, too, right? You know, there's every once in a while we cheer for Brad Marchand and Connor McDavid, which we don't normally do. But for those 3 weeks, we'll definitely be forgetting that they play for other teams and just cheering for the flag.
Awesome. Yeah, guys, we're talking to Russ here from Canucks podcast, Nothing is Perfect. Make sure you check out his channel. I've put a link in the pinned chat message and also in the stream description. He's a great friend of the channel, has had me. I think I've been on your channel a lot more than just 4 times. I mean, we'll make it a 4th time this year, probably, with last time our teams match up against each other. We got lots of other good questions here. And I do have some fun exercises for the trade deadline, but we'll get to that in a second here. I mean, do you think that Pettersson could actually be traded?
The experts and the people who are our insiders are saying that he is not interested in his waiving his no movement clause, which is essentially what it comes down to. It's funny because Pettersson is a guy who you'll find pictures on the internet as him as a kid wearing a Canucks shirt, because the Vancouver Canucks have a very long history of some very good Swedish players. Mm-hmm. Marcus Naslund, who I've got his little mini jersey here with me all the time. Matthias Oland and the Sedin twins. And so we've had there are a lot of Swedish players that actually cheer for the Canucks. And so for Pettersson, I think his biggest dream is to bring a cup to the Vancouver Canucks. So I think even if the team wanted to trade him, I don't know if he would waive his no movement clause. So I don't expect him to be moved.
Yeah. And you're a BC native?
I'm originally from Alberta. So I'm actually originally from Calgary, Alberta, which makes it weird that I cheer for the Canucks. I should be a Flames fan, but it didn't work out that way.
Huh. Is that a family thing or just kind of?
Yeah, so I was when I was living in southern Alberta, I lived there until I was about 7, and all my cousins were out in BC. So a lot of them lived in Cranbrook in British Columbia and Surrey. And because they were teenagers and I was younger than them, I thought they were the coolest guys in the world, and they told me I should be a Canucks fan. So I listened and started, and then when I moved out here in '92, it was only a couple of years later when the Vancouver Canucks ended up going to the Stanley Cup Finals in '94, and that was it. I was solidly a Canucks fan, and it's been pain ever since.
Yeah. Cranbrook, that's just on the other side of the border for me. A lot of great, amazing talents have lived there at some point in their life, as I've recently discovered.
Yeah, it's interesting. Small town, but they produce some big talent.
And of course, I mean, on this channel, we always have to ask questions about jerseys. What is the best Canucks jersey that's ever been worn for a game?
This one right here.
Hard to beat.
This little beauty, I actually got this one for my birthday from my wife. So this is Trevor Linden. Just an absolute beauty.
Gorgeous.
I love the flying skate.
Same here. Let's see here. What was I going to ask? Oh, if you could actually buy an NHL team, would you buy the Canucks, or would you explore options perhaps somewhere with a warmer climate?
I would absolutely buy the Canucks, and it's not specifically because that would be the best team to buy at this point, but it would be so that I wouldn't have to have our current owner still running this team. Because if for anyone who doesn't know, Francesco Aquilini has been a guy who has meddled within the team's affairs for many, many years, ever since he took over the team. So I think if I were to say the biggest problem with the Canucks as an organization, at least since he took over, has been him not allowing the team to rebuild. And so it's interesting that Jim Rutherford this year has finally said the words. But yeah, we've all dreamed about like Ryan Reynolds, who's from Vancouver, and Seth Rogen and Michael Bublé. We want all these celebrities to get together and put together a package to buy it away from Francesco Aquilini. That's the dream. But if I had the money, I would definitely buy the Canucks and hopefully turn things around.
Yeah. I mean, I want to add this question in here from Tommy Boy. We did talk about the possibility of you actually getting a top 3 pick, but you were saying earlier that, you still have a good crop of young talent right now that seems to be getting experience early in their careers, which is really good. So of course it seems like a very ideal thing for you to get a top pick, and you guys are long overdue for that. But will you be able to sleep at night if for some reason you fall out of the top 3?
I think for Canucks fans, we just expect to be disappointed. So I don't know if we'll be too sad, but as long as we finish dead last, that's the thing. As long as we can get a top 3 pick, however that turns out, that's going to add to the organizational depth. And Jim Rutherford and Patrick Allvin have talked about it. The rebuild, they want to do it in 2 to 3 years, and people are like, that's crazy. But I do see a little bit of the logic in that the Canucks have really developed a lot of good defensemen. Like if you were to look at the organizational depth, we've got guys who nobody's even heard of that are playing really well down in Abbotsford. Young guys like Sora Minia, who's played for Team Canada. We've got Kirill Kudratsev, who we picked up in the 7th round and was a key part of the Calder Cup run for the Abbotsford Canucks last year. And then on top of that, we've got a bunch of goaltending prospects that are looking really good. So it's one of those things where the back end of our organization really has developed a lot of young talent that we're very excited about. It's more that center depth that has been killing this organization for the last year and a half. So hopefully, if things drop our way, we might be able to pick up some of those pieces in the next draft. And the Canucks have 4 picks in the first 2 rounds, should be 4 picks in the top 50 or so. And the Canucks have never had that many picks in the top 2 rounds ever. So we're hoping the combination of thank you to the Minnesota fan, Jake, for the 4 first-round pick prospects in the pick, and then adding in the 4 picks this year, it's a really good kickstart to the rebuild, and hopefully we can get things going quickly here.
Yeah, often when your team is struggling the way it has been after the trade deadline, it only gets worse and it becomes, frankly, kind of unwatchable. But then once you have the draft, then things start to look up a little bit.
We're prepared for that, though, here on Nothing is Perfect. We got the tank going on. And then the other thing, too, is that obviously the Canucks don't score a lot of goals. So whenever we are watching other games, and let's say we're playing against San Jose and Macklin celebrating, scores against his hometown team because he loves to do that, we're ready for it with the tank, baby tank.
The armor from that bag is just impenetrable. All right. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna as intermit or the second period is gonna start in just a moment here, but we're gonna have some fun. I'm gonna give you a player and a few choices, and you're gonna tell me where you think he's going. And chat, you can play along with us as well. So this was Rantanen from last year, right?
Yep.
So first guy, Artemi Panarin. Where do you see him? These are some of the teams that have been reported to have interest: the Kings, Capitals, Hurricanes, Red Wings, or is it somewhere else? Because there are a bunch of other teams that are surfacing as potential suitors for him.
Honestly, the first team that popped in my mind when I saw this is your team, the San Jose Sharks. I could honestly see him getting picked up. You guys still got lots of draft capital, lots of young prospects, and for a team that looks like they want to maybe take the next step here, might be not a bad place for him, especially if you can sign a decent extension with Mike Greer.
I mean, I think we have the cap for it, but we've already committed. You know, we traded for Sherwood. We want to extend him. We've got Toffoli for a couple more years. We got Wenberg signed for 3 more years. We have some 30-somethings in the forward group already. So Sharks fans are largely hoping that we don't do it, even though it would be exciting.
Yeah. I would say I'd say the Capitals might be a good spot for him to maybe going and playing with Ovechkin. But again, the Capitals, who knows what they're going to do, because right now I don't even think they're in a playoff spot. So
no,
be interesting to see if they're buyers or sellers by the time the trade deadline rolls around.
So people here saying maybe the Red Wings or the I think the Ducks are also a team you got to keep an eye out for because their salary cap's been managed really well so far. I think Pat Verbeek doing a good job there. All right, number 2, we got Teach Me How to Dougie Hamilton. I don't know why the Maple Leafs have been a team that has expressed interest. Maybe they fall out pretty soon here. Hurricanes, of course, Hamilton's a former Kane. The Sharks, he rejected a trade to them in the offseason. I think that would change just based on how things are going. The Mammoth, they could use a little bit more production offensively from their defensemen. Or is there somewhere else where you think he would be a possible destination? Or that would be a destination for him?
I would say for me, I think the Mammoth are a really good option because that's an owner that seems like he wants to push his team over the top, and they are definitely looking for a little bit more defensive depth. So I think as long as they are willing to part with some of that draft capital that they've accrued over the last couple of years as the Arizona Coyotes, I think that the Mammoth might be the best spot for him to land.
All right, we're going to actually skip a couple of these because we're getting down to the screws here. Kadri, we should definitely mention him. I mean, the Flames should be selling off some of their pieces they already did with Anderson. Is there a team that's jumping out? Could he be reunited with the Avalanche? Or does he actually go to a rival that could use some center depth like the Minnesota Wild?
Interestingly, I feel like he might stay north of the border and here in Canada. I think the Canadians might be the ones. They've got a lot of capital left over. I'd say the Wild probably want him the most because they are hurting for center depth, but the Canadians have more draft capital that would be interesting to Calgary. And Nazem Kadri is the perfect fit for a team that has a lot of skill but needs a little bit more grit for the Canadians.
All right, we'll skip Blake Coleman. I don't know why he was so high on this one trade board that I saw. It would be interesting to see if he ended up reunited with the Lightning. Trocheck, Wild, Kings, Hurricanes. Kings could always use some center depth. Plus, Trocheck is a former Kane, so I don't know if the Rangers would trade him in the division like that, but it's possible.
Yeah, I feel like the Rangers might be just desperate enough because of how things have turned around to them. So I actually will pick C, the Hurricanes. I think Trocheck would be a good fit there. For, again, another team that has a ton of skill. They're a little bit on the smaller side. So to have someone come in with some skill and some sandpaper might be good for that organization. And, again, a team that has some capital to move for it.
A couple of guys in the chat think that maybe he actually could go to the Wild. How about this one? We haven't really heard any murmurs recently, but the Predators are kind of falling out of the playoff picture here. You got the argument that he could go to the Red Wings to play for, Steve Yzerman's team. What about what about going to the Golden Knights and just, Vegas is going to do something like that at the trade deadline. I know they got Anderson already, but they've got another trick up their sleeve, I would think.
I would say that I think I'm going to go with A. I think he stays put. I think the contract is the reason that he is going to end up staying put, because I think that the Nashville Predators are, as an organization, even though this year has gone very badly for them, I think that they're of the mind that they can turn things around pretty quickly and maybe be a playoff contender next year.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I haven't really heard anything. It seems like, that they'd have to retain some of his salary, and maybe that's just not something that they envision. But anyway, we'll finish up. I think we got two more here. Jordan Kyrou, somebody who has kind of fallen off, even though he's only 27 years old. This is somebody who's easily put up 30 goals a couple of times in his career.
I would say he would be a good fit on the Flyers. I think he's kind of a Rick Tocchet kind of a player. So the Flyers definitely will be pushing for a playoff spot, but that also depends on whether or not they were close to it. Because right now they're obviously not in a playoff spot. So I would say, and I think the St. Louis Blues would be happier to send him across conference. So I would say the top two options for me would be the Flyers and the Islanders, just to keep them out of the same conference there.
I think he'd be a really really good complementary piece on Philadelphia. For some reason, I could also see him with the Islanders. Strangely, I mean, they just seem to kind of stockpile 20 goal score. Look, he's not putting up that many goals this year. They just seem to have kind of a mold for their middle six, and I think that's just kind of where I could see him fitting in. Strangely, even though
St. Louis has been terrible. So I mean, the numbers are probably a little lower than what you'd expect.
And to conclude things here, we'll throw out the possibility of more terror in Vancouver.
I'm gonna go with, hey, you shut your mouth. No, I think he stays put. I think there's a few teams that would like him, but it's kind of funny because Canucks fans will trash him because they don't think he's worth the $11.6 million that he makes. But to sell low on a guy who's scored over 100 points in this league before, and like I said, he is the only time he's ever had like a legitimate winger to play with was when he had Andrei Kuzmenko, and they absolutely lit it up together. So we can find something for him. It's one of those things. If you can find a player for Petey to play with, you're not only adding that good piece that he will be playing with, you're actually adding Petey back onto the roster. So that's what Canucks fans are hoping for.
All right, Russ, we're going to wrap it up here so that we can get back to the action. But tell folks where we can find you once more, YouTube and otherwise.
Yeah, we're all over YouTube. I do have an Instagram and a Twitter page. Those are all linked within the YouTube. So easiest way, just use the link that Nick's provided for you. But we are live during every single Vancouver Canucks game. We're doing a doubleheader today, actually. So we're going to actually have the Vancouver Canucks game against the Toronto Maple Leafs at 4:00 Pacific time. And then we're going to go directly into the Abbotsford Canucks against the Condors. So we're going to have 4 live guests on. It's going to be lots of fun. We've got a guy from the Abbotsford News here who's going to be talking about the Abbey Canucks. We got TSI Mike, who's a big Toronto guy. So it's going to be an absolutely busy show. We'll be live for like 8 hours or something like that. And we welcome fans of all different teams because we got everyone in here. It's lots of fun, and it's a good place to come and hang out. So thanks for having me on today, Nick. It was a lot of fun, and keep up the good work because you're one of the good ones out there.
I do a really good job of masking my faults here, but thanks for, of course, setting the benchmark for how we should do things like this on YouTube. And we'll have you on the show again soon enough. Okay, man?
Cheers, brother. Have a great stream, and we'll talk again soon.
Okay, catch you later. Thanks. All right, that was Russ from Nothing is Perfect. Guys, give it up for Russ. Subscribe to his channel. We've got, and thank you, Tommy Boy, for doing that. We got Swerve and Irvin up in the building. What it do? Yee! All right, I gotta pee, guys. I've had like all this water. I am very much in need of a restroom break, but don't touch that dial. I will be back in just a moment. By the way, the Avs scored a 3rd goal, so Cortana is going to need a treat when we come back. I will be as quick as I possibly can be. So, all right, and Cortana, you know what? Cortana, come over here and get a treat. And then we got to pee for the D, right? We'll get Cortana on camera here. Here, go lie down. Okay, and we're back, and like as I get up, Russ gifts 5 memberships. My goodness, I need to play a goal horn just for that. We'll do a Sharks goal horn. Got some new members up in the building, courtesy of our guest, and that's such a pro move. I love it, man. Thank you very much. All right, so anyway, I'm gonna get back to the game here. Last time I checked, it was 3-0. Is it 3-1 now? Let's see here, because they're just replaying. No, it's still 3-0 visitors. 14:32 left in the period. Whew. Oh man, I really needed that. Anyway, let's see. I just got to make sure that my banner is updated here. All right. Second. There we go. By the way, that third Avalanche goal, nice CRT TV. Thank you. That last one comes from Ross Colton, Stanley Cup winner with the Tampa Bay Lightning. Actually, I think in 2021 he had the cup clinching goal for Tampa Bay. Here, we'll give Cortana some more treats. Here, come here. Here you go, boo boo. All right, come here, sweetie. Lightning legend Ross Colton. Yep. What is the most annoying goal horn in the league? I kind of think the Oilers. I mean, I said the Kings for a while there. It's good. I lived by a train station for 7 years. I cannot stand that sound. I get the shakes from hearing that. But yeah, the Oilers would probably be up there. The Jets is kind of annoying when you like watch. It just doesn't sound good when you're just listening through your computer. But I think it's going to be a lot more fun if you see it in TV or in person. Excuse me. But yeah, the Oilers would probably be up there. That thing is so whiny. It's almost as whiny as Cortana when it's 4:00 and she hasn't gotten her food. Capitals is the most annoying. I don't think anymore though. I don't think it does that anymore. I mean, the old one, right? But then again, you probably watch more games against the Capitals than I do. All right. Can the Red Wings respond? It's been a tough shake for them. The shots are 13-12 in favor of the Avs. Jets is too quiet. It's kind of subdued, yeah. But, I mean, that sound is not meant to be necessarily overwhelming. I don't know. Isn't the Capitals an ambulance siren? I mean, they haven't done that in a while, though, I don't think. They haven't changed, or they have changed their air compressor. Yeah, we've got the goal horn expert here, PG-13 Hockey Man. So I'm just guessing. I'm just making guesses. All right. Top line out there for the Avs. This puck is going to wind all the way down to Blackwood. Let's see here. We have a couple other games happening right now too, don't we? Well, the only other game that we have going on is the Kings and the Flyers. Come on, Flyers. I need you to win for my Sharks, who play right after this. But the Flyers are trailing 2-1. Goals by Kempe, his 19th of the year, and also his 20th. He's had both goals, and Zegras scoring his 20th goal, and he continues what's been a very good season for him, first full season as a Flyer. Calgary's weird synthesizer goal horn isn't great either. Do I have anything planned for second intermission? No, I don't actually. I mean, I've done things like I did this earlier this year, but like I'll show off any ticket stubs I have from old games. I have a lot of like old concert tickets. I've got my jerseys, but a lot of them are folded, not like on hangers, so it becomes a little bit more of a pain in the butt to take them down and put them back. But yeah, the Flyers have been disappointing in the second half of this year. Zegras has been great. As a USA homer, I'm happy to see him do well. Well, wait a second. Did he get named to the Winter Olympics roster? I hope so. We love show and tell. I mean, Cortana can be show and tell. I can just hold her up to the camera. Come here. You're fine. Do you need to go outside, girl? Go see your mama. Go see your mama. Okay. With the Central Division the way it is, could we see a real Stanley Cup Final in the second round? I mean, I would say that with the way the Lightning have been playing, they're rightfully now the second best team in the NHL. I mean, I think didn't Shannon have them at the top of his power rankings? So I don't know if we're really going to see the real Stanley Cup Final. I mean, there are teams that are coming on really strongly in the East at the moment. Cortana Q&A. We can do Cortana Q&A. Zegras is not on the Olympic roster. Wow. USA Junior career points leader tied with Jordan Schrader. I don't know who that is. I mean, is that somebody who is draft eligible now, or just somebody who was kind of a one-hit wonder? Yeah, who are the forwards for the USA Winter Olympics hockey roster? Men's. So you got Boldy, duh. Kyle Connor, duh. Eichel, of course. Gensel, Jack Hughes, who, God, he's injured again, right? Clayton Keller. Yeah, these are really good players. Larkin, Matthews. I mean, don't put it past him to be a different player if when he's over in Milan. JT Miller, Brock Nelson, who has been playing fairly well for the Avalanche. I mean, maybe still a bit of a surprise. Tage Thompson, Brady Tkachuk, Matthew Tkachuk, Vincent Trocheck. Yeah, I could make a case that maybe Zegras could get in over one or two of those players. That's fair. 69%. We should close the poll. 69% had the Avalanche winning. That's convincing enough. Yeah, and Cole Caulfield, who is Mr. Overtime, and Jason Robertson were left off. I forgot about that. Yeah. The real Stanley Cup Final in 2014, definitely. Favorite goal horns has to be the Krakens. It's okay. It's good. It's good. I still think that you can choose better than Lithium for a song, but the horn itself sounds good. Three of the top 5 goal scorer are Americans. Whoa. That's crazy. And none of them are on the Olympics roster. Bonkers. I'm just trying to think of who the leading scorers are right now. I think DeBrincat's one of them. Obviously, MacKinnon is. I would think Robertson, just based off of what Russ is saying in the chat here. He was not short, so he wasn't too short. Yeah, Dallas and Calgary are up there in goal songs. All right. The Red Wings now have actually taken the lead in the shots on goal. Pretty crazy. The Red Wings at this point in the year already have 32 wins. So it's MacKinnon, McDavid, Robertson, DeBrincat, and Caulfield. I didn't know Robertson was third. That's pretty crazy with how many weapons are on that team. Rantanen, Johnston. All right. Here's Arturi Lehkonen. He gets taken down by Sider in the corner. Sends it around the boards. And great anticipation there from, looked like that was Kane. puck stays in the zone, and it actually goes out of play. Isn't Dallas's a custom song by Pantera? Yeah. I mean, obviously there are no vocals there, so I don't think Phil Anselmo was involved in the production of it. But they basically were told by the Stars, like, "Hey, would you be interested in like having making a little tune for us for the locker room?" That's originally what it was intended for. I made a video on this, or a like a YouTube short, and I was gonna say the Stars recorded it the next day, so they just needed a few hours for it. I mean, it's funny because like it's pretty formulaic. It's fun. It's great that they did it, but like even at one point they're using a riff basically that's the same from Cowboys from Hell. Wish Metallica made one for the Sharks. Yeah, I know, right? They should have done that. We had Metallica night. I got to go to that. All right, turnover in the neutral zone. Here comes Ross Colton, who has the last goal for the Avs. A shot toward the net, off the side of the net. Some intense pressure here. But the Red Wings are able to get the clear. Here comes Larkin going one-on-one against Manson. A shot that doesn't get on net. Scooped up. 92. When I see 92, what? Is 92 on the wings? Oh, it's Casper, Marco Casper. That's right. And here is Marco Casper from Austria. And a save by Blackwood. He's got it in his glove. Is Cowboys from Hell a song about the Dallas Cowboys? I never heard that it was supposed to be. Bill Guerin is going with Team USA's roster from the Four Nations face-off with a few changes. If Guerin is going off vibes, that doesn't win you gold medals. No, unfortunately, it doesn't. They have, they have very good goaltenders. Team USA, right? Hellebuck, I think Ottinger and Swayman, are those the guys who went? Because Demko's unfortunately injured, but yeah, there's some good goalies for that. I love Metallica. Saw their third show in Vancouver. Right on. I've seen them twice. Once at the Shark Tank, not for Metallica night, that was separate. And then one time when the Golden State Warriors played in Oakland, but that was a long time ago for me. All right, we're at a commercial break right now, so still 3-0, still 2-1 Kings over the Flyers. So looking at today's games, we got of course Russ is going to be live doing the Canucks game and the Abbey Canucks game, but we've got Rangers and Penguins, Jets and Panthers. Talk about a couple of disappointments this year. Sharks and Flames, Hurricanes and Capitals, and then maybe the game of the day. We got the Canadiens and the Sabres at 7 Eastern. Devils, Senators, Preds, Islanders. Blue Jackets, they've been playing a lot better now with Rick Bowness as their head coach, relieving Dean Evison. They're taking on the St. Louis Blues. Maple Leafs and Canucks. Stars and Mammoth, not bad. Wild and Oilers, I like that one. And then at the very end, we have what could be a first-round matchup in the Pacific with the Seattle Kraken visiting the Vegas Golden Knights. I wish Warsofsky would be the head coach for USA. He did really well at the World Championships. He did, yeah. I would have been surprised if he was named head coach, but hopefully he is able to have something like that in his career, whether Winter Olympics or Four Nations or something like that. It is a full slate of games. Yeah, it's a good weekend when you have this many options for games. But yeah, I'd say Montreal and Buffalo is pretty darn intriguing. Here's a turnover. The Avs have it, and a shot from Kelly, wide of Gibson's glove. Kiviranta out there as well. Yoel Kiviranta, former Dallas Star. A shot from the point. Red Wings able to get a block here. In a winner-take-all shift, 3 forwards, 2 defensemen, and a goalie from any country who that are non-Canadian. Who do I have? Oh, geez. Sasha Barkov would be my center. He doesn't really play with Kachuk though, because that could be ideal. But I would definitely start it with Barkov. On defense, I would have Slavin. In goal, I can't say Hellebuck just because of his track record. I mean, Shesterkin could certainly be that goaltender if we're able to choose players from any other country. Yeah. So it's kind of a fun exercise. But yeah, to give you a center, a defenseman, and a goaltender, it would probably be, or Sorokin for that matter, with how he's played this year. But if Russia was in the Olympics, could they win gold over Canada? I mean, I think it would be possible, but I'd still think that the Canadians would be the favorites. But Russia might be. Let's see, who's the number one center for Russia if they were to be in the Olympics? Though it's not. They're not very strong at the center position. I don't think. Of course, you got Kucherov on the wing. You got Vasilevsky in goal, right? Like you've got some amazing world-class talents. But yeah, I like that one from Swerve Irvin. That'd be a fun exercise for a video. Maybe Slavin and Heiskanen. That would actually be pretty good. Although, of course, one would have to play on his offside. Or you could do Slavin and Sider. Shesterkin or Slavin and Dahlin. Shoot, that'd be fun. Shesterkin was third string goalie, and Kaprizov scored the golden goal in overtime against Germany. How long ago was that? Oh, 2018 Olympic. Really? Huh. Yeah, I wasn't even watching. See, I wasn't even watching the Olympics since they didn't have NHL players. Blackwood making the save there with no traffic in front of him. Red Wings now no goals on 17 shots as we get to 7:37 left here in period number 2. Mike Sullivan's not the guy to coach you to a championship. Not anymore, unfortunately. Man, what a rough start to his time with the Rangers. There's only so much you can do to point the finger at him, though. All right, here comes Sider. Now behind the net for Kopp. Out in front looking for DeBrincat. Good stick check there. Manson's going to skate it through center ice. Able to shovel that all the way down. Dump down, but no icing. As the Red Wings forecheck tries to go to work here. Nichushkin handing it off to the wing. Into Nichushkin, he shoots, and he had the opportunity to pick a spot, but that didn't quite get on net as he was left all alone in the lower slot. I would have loved to see Patrick Kane on the Team USA roster. He's definitely been on a good scoring pace recently, but I think they would rather have somebody who's oh, and a goal right there. MacKinnon just all alone off a turnover. 4-0 Avs. And this is getting out of hand here, unfortunately, for the home team. We'll sound the horn. Larkin turned it over in the Avs zone. And then missed clear there by Bernard Docker. I don't know if he was looking up and he lost track of where the puck was for him, but it was Lehkonen who came up with the loose puck and just served it right up to MacKinnon, as Nate Dogg has, I think, 3 points on the afternoon, 2 goals and a helper. But yeah, like Tommy Boy makes a good point. It's like, look, Sullivan's not doing a great job over there, but he's not given a whole lot to work with right now with the way that Drury's been running things over there. Larkin, a.k.a. JT Miller Jr. Ooh, that's harsh. Hey, Cortana, you didn't get your treat. Treat. Cortana needs a gold treat. Come on. Come on, kiddo. There we go. Come over here. Warsofsky's brother was on the USA Olympic team. I didn't know that. There you go. Oh, good girl. Oh, good girl. Good girl. Alrighty. So MacKinnon's up to 40 goals this year, guys. We're 2/3 of the way through this season, and Nate Dogg could maybe hit 60. Actually, if MacKinnon hits 60 goals, and if he can get to, what was it, 100? He was on pace for like 150 points, wasn't he? Or 140? That's that does not come that much, even in today's NHL, to put up that many goals with that many helpers. All right, Burns from behind his net. Can't quite get the clear. Gustafsson able to keep the point for the Red Wings. We'll see if they have a little bit more fire, because they need it, man. Down to 5:30 here in the second period. Avs are going to skate this out of their zone on the wing, handing it off, looking for... Man, I'm really bad with some of these guys in the bottom six, apparently. Has anybody here ever heard of Zakhar Bardakov? Bardakov? I don't know. That sounds somewhat familiar. Sounds like former Shark Alexander Barabanov. Jake Sanderson and Brock Faber. They were on that team in 2022. Really? Huh. Whitefish, Montana native Jake Sanderson. I wish these would be the Red Wings main jerseys. I would have no complaints about that at all. Like, I would say that the Red Wings away jersey is better than the home jersey. Timu Barkov. Who's that? Dylan Larkin? And we have a little bit of pushing and shoving here, but the referees quickly intervene. We'll go to the final commercial break of the period, as Nathan MacKinnon has just about put this game away. Avs up 4-0. Oh, Bardakov. Okay. The Dylan Larkin slander must stop. Let's see here. Do we have a score update? Shoot. There we go. Okay. I'm sorry if my stream hops in and out. So, yep, a fun commercial break. Hooray. Man, I had breakfast this morning. I'm already getting kind of hungry again. Larkin was who Mike Gillis wanted to draft at number 6, but he got fired. So I'm sorry, was Mike Gillis was he a Canucks general manager? I'm sorry if I've got my history a little twisted here. Oh, now they're actually replaying some of the highlights from the 90s when these teams just absolutely hated each other. They're showing Mike Vernon versus Patrick Waugh. That was the first ever goalie fight that Mrs. Twister ever got to watch. I mean, not in the moment. I showed her. So Dylan Larkin could have been drafted 6th. Was that wait? Was that the Jake Virtanen draft? Yeah, who did the Canucks draft in 2014 instead of Dylan Larkin? Let me take a look here. The Canucks selected Jake Virtanen. I'm right. Damn. Woo! I pulled that one. I feel like I'm like, wow, I actually know something that I should know. All right, here's Colton into the Red Wings corner as the Avalanche forecheck, man, looking a little bit like 2022 now here. Sider able to assist, but he kind of fans on a puck, and Colton's going to funnel it back to the point. Burns, who has one of the goals today for the Avs, can't quite get that shot through traffic. Russ is like, dude, I'm going to have to take a nap after this. I'm going to be sick otherwise. Yeah, let's see here. What was that 2014 NHL draft? Of course, the next year we had the amazing McDavid Eichel draft, but round one, Ekblad was the first overall pick, Reinhart number 2, Draisaitl number 3, Sam Bennett number 4. It's so crazy just because 3 of those guys are on the Panthers. The Islanders at 5th drafted Michael Dal Colle, so they could have had Dylan Larkin. Larkin didn't go until when was he drafted? 15th. So the guys who got drafted before Dylan Larkin include the following: Michael Dal Colle, Jake Virtanen, Hayden Fleury, William Nylander. Okay, we'll give the Leafs a pass on that. Ehlers will give him a pass. Nick Ritchie, Kevin Fiala has turned out to be really good. Brendan Perlini, Jakub Vrana, who was decent, just had some injury troubles there, and Julius Honka. We're talking like 7 guys who had no business going before Dylan Larkin, at least in hindsight. We got Mikro hanging out with us. I would say the Colorado Avalanche could win the President's Trophy. Possibly. By the way, I hope the Sharks are able to not choke a 3-goal lead in the third period. That'd be awesome. Because I know the Kings are eyeing a 2 points here. But no, the Flyers have tied it up. I like seeing that. Let's go, Flyers. Come on. We've got Adam Alfredson hanging out with us here, or Alfredson. Crazy that the Red Wings haven't been in the playoffs in a decade. Things just feel right when the Red Wings are in the playoffs, don't they? Brendan Perlini now makes videos on YouTube about his time playing hockey. Well, that's great. I hope that he hasn't fallen out of favor with the game. I hope he still enjoys being around that, of course. I mean, any of these guys who are busts would still kick my ass in just about any sport. So, Rasmus Ristolainen goal, assisted by Nikita Grebenkin, who it just sounds like a made up name from Chell or something. But there we go. All right, down to 3 minutes left in the period. Watching Flyers and Kings since this one looks out of reach. I mean, shoot, I hope you guys wouldn't mind, but I might actually flip. Well, especially for intermission, I'll probably flip it over to the Flyers game. Might even change my jersey. No, I won't. I did one Kings game at the beginning of this year. It was against the Avalanche, but yeah, I was gonna say we got Emperor King. We got like 2 regular viewers who are Kings fans, I think. But I haven't seen our Kings fans in some time. And we've had a good haul of them, too. I think our most viewed stream of all time was a Game 7 between the Kings and Oilers in 2022, I think, or 23. Emperor King. Yeah, that's the guy. That's one of ours. He's in our Discord, by the way. Y'all, if you haven't yet, if you're into the Discord, you can join our server. We've got a link down in our stream description. It's a small group, but we've got a lot of regulars in there, and for the most part, it's pretty friendly. I mean, we got fans for just about any team out there. That's 1 vote from Sports Geeks. I'm sold. Let's do it. But yeah, by the way, the Avs are on a power play late in the period here. With with 2:25 left, and there's a minute 38 on the man advantage. The one thing that surprises me about the Avalanche, I'm sure that some of you were thinking about this as well. How is their power play so bad? It came into this game ranked, I kid you not. The Avalanche's power play is 29th in the NHL. It is the 4th worst. Now, that is where it would help to have Mikko Rantanen. I will agree. But, I mean, is there a better power play quarterback than Cale Makar? In terms of distributing the puck, maybe. But in terms of shooting the puck, he is second to none. And then you have, of course, Nathan MacKinnon can do anything you want him to on the power play as well. He can run the point himself, as you've probably seen many times over. But yeah, they're 29th. I have no idea how that happens. Well, here's Makar. He's going to send it around the net to Nichushkin. And the Avs actually lost a handle on that puck, and MacKinnon will take it in 1-on-3, and he back passes it. I think he could have shot it himself, and the Wings are able to get an easy clear from Michigan native Mason Appleton. The Lightning power play has also been meh. Yeah. I find that very intriguing as well. And we could still get a matchup from 2022. That was a good final. I mean, if the Lightning hadn't played in the final the previous 2 years and were maybe just a little bit more fresh, I think that could have been an all-time great final. But it was still pretty competitive. Dan coming in to say, this sucks. Now back to work. Good. I'm glad you have a distraction. Yeah, just a GG will suffice. Avs on the doorstep. MacKinnon shoots it. Oh my goodness. And he's literally hitting himself in the head because he had an open net and he missed it. I think it might have gone, like, there was a diving defenseman out there, because Nathan MacKinnon would have had a hat trick, but you can't complain. He's been by far the player of the game today with 2 goals and a helper. And now the Wings shorthanded 2-on-1, a shot, and that might have hit the post. It did. Penalty's over now. Sandin Pellikka on the give and go. He had to brink it on the doorstep. Casper in toward the crease and covered up by Blackwood with 7 seconds left, and we get some pushing and shoving. Timothy against his old team. He's getting feisty. Brent Burns is saying, age before beauty, son. And we've got a scrum here behind the net. Tampa Bay has proven goaltending and defense, and their 5-on-5 play is excellent. Yeah, Tommy Boy, actually, on that subject, when I saw the Sharks play against them a couple weeks ago, yeah, I mean, dude, they just suffocated the Sharks, because San Jose held on to the puck for much of that game, but they just could not generate quality opportunities whatsoever. And offensively, Tampa was very conservative, but I was like, damn, like we were trying to do anything we can out there, and just nothing doing it all. Although I had Tampa winning the Stanley Cup last year, and well, they had a bad first round draw, first of all, but Vasi is back to haunt the NHL's dreams. He had an amazing season last year too. But would you say, I mean, how comfortable are we that the Lightning are the favorite out of the Eastern Conference? Maybe we'll get a conference final between Tampa Bay and Carolina. I would gladly welcome that. I would love to see that. Just don't want Carolina to have to play another Floridian team. Players are still saying Vasi is the best in the league. That's fair. I mean, like, take your pick between him and Shesterkin. And it's great to see Sorokin back in that conversation. He's got like 6 shutouts on the year. Yeah, it's very fair to say that the best 3 goaltenders in the NHL are Russian right now. No disrespect to some of the other grades out there. 16 minutes left in the third period for the Flyers. Cool. I'm gonna check. Or by the way, we get 4-on-4 to play out the first 2 minutes of the third period. So that's the end of the second here, as the Avalanche get goals from Ross Colton and the 40th of the season for Nate Dog MacKinnon, as the Avalanche head into the dressing room with a very convincing 4-0 lead. So I'm going to put on the Flyers game. That sounds good to me. And I mean, for the first half of the year, I was enjoying watching the Flyers quite a bit. All right, let's see here. Flyers and Kings is. I can. Sweet. Adam says, I don't have the correct TV package for Flyers versus Kings. All right, well, let's see what we can do. So 2-2, 14 minutes left in regulation. Flyers are the home team. I mean, I guess that makes sense. It's not even noon in the West Coast. Canada should have gotten Vasilevsky citizenship. Really? Philadelphia outshooting LA so far 18-15. So the Kings right now are in that logjam in the Pacific Division with the Sharks, the Kraken, the Ducks. Even the Oilers are pretty much right there. They've just played more games. Do I like the color rush games? Oh, like you mean like when we had the Rangers and the Red Wings? Oh, for that, absolutely. But yeah, I'm in favor if as long as the colors don't clash, like as long as one. I guess you wouldn't want to have a red team versus an orange team out there. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Montreal versus Quebec. Wait a second. Oh, the Canadiens actually wore their red jerseys for that? That's amazing. Oh, I love that. But then again, I would have been fine with them wearing their white jerseys because they were wearing white at home in the 80s when they would face the Nordiques in the playoffs, which, I mean, we're watching, Avalanche and Red Wings today. But dude, after doing a deep dive on the Canadiens and the Nordiques, that was just as vicious. That might have even been worse. I mean, you even had fights in the stands at one point. But that and I mean, it was so politically driven between those two teams back in the 80s. Oops, wait, let me do here. I'll do this one. We couldn't have a color rush game for Lightning and Maple Leafs. That's true, unless one team wore their black jersey at home. Yeah, and even so, I mean, how would that look? I wouldn't want to see the Leafs wearing the black jerseys and the Lightning wearing their blues. That would look kind of weird to me, frankly. If the Avs win the Stanley Cup this year, that'll be their second Stanley Cup in 5 years. Yeah. Mike Milbury hitting a fan with his shoe is an all-timer. Mike Milbury was also when he was a player, he was in that fan brawl. Are you talking about the same one when he was actually a player, or is this when he was like an executive? I can't remember. But yeah, of course, if the Avs win the Stanley Cup, I would only hope that the first person to get the Stanley Cup from Gabriel Landeskog would be, in this case, Brent Burns. Brock Nelson would probably be second, and then they would start passing it around, perhaps. He was a Bruin. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they went into the stands. I mean, it's not the only time we've seen in the NHL players like punching fans. But of course, like some of these fans are just idiots to begin with. Yeah, Brent Burns. The only thing that sucks is that unless he plays like at least another year, he's not going to finish with 1,000 points. It would be amazing if he would, but he'll still have one. He'll still retire with one of the longest consecutive games streaks, and over 900 points, mostly as a defenseman. Not to mention, Burns did a lot of that when it was not that high scoring in the NHL, so you got to give him some credit there. He actually had a season where he was a point per game as a defenseman. Ty Domi fighting someone from the penalty box. Yeah, I've seen that one. That was that the water bottle incident, right? Or am I thinking of somebody else? Uh, how many Norris winners have played entire seasons as a winger? Not too many from the last few decades, that's for sure. I mean, it's fun to entertain. Like how many team or how many future Hall of Famers are on on current teams like the Avalanche, right? McKinnon and McCarr, indisputably. Will Land if Landeskog wins another Stanley Cup as the captain of that team, I think he's maybe a Hall of Famer, maybe. Devon Taves, unfortunately, he's a very good player, but I just don't know if he's ever going to be considered that elite among defensemen to where he'd make the Hall of Fame. But Burns would be certainly, I think, a Stanley Cup gets him in. We were talking about the Lightning earlier. How many Hall of Famers are on that team, right? Vasilevsky, Hedman, Kucherov, Point, Braden Point, maybe, and obviously Stamkos would go as well, even though he's not on the team anymore. Ooh, Tippett. I thought he was drawing a high stick call there. Here, I got to use the restroom again, guys. Let's see if I can get Cortana to lie down here, so then that way we can keep you entertained somewhat. Hey, Cortana, come here, girl. You want some more treats? There, come here, get a treat. Good girl, come on. There we go. Come on. You can lie down. Yeah, you lie down. Yeah, please. Okay, okay. Can you stay here? Okay. Top 5 U.S. born players. Oh, Chelios is still arguably the greatest American of all time. I'm gonna pee really quickly. Okay, no, go. All right, there we go. Dean asked, yeah, top 5 American-born goaltenders. Here, Cortana, good girl. Well, what I decided to do was really quickly think about how would I make an all-time USA starting lineup, right? So I thought, okay, I still think maybe the best American-born player of all time is Chris Chelios. Elite in his prime and unmatched longevity in the NHL. Um, so I'd probably say Chelios and Brian Leach on defense. In goal, I would maybe think Frank Brimzik, who played I can't even remember what decade, in the 50s or something. His accolades are pretty strong, but if we had to go with, like, somebody that you guys would know, it would probably be Jonathan Quick, right? And then, up front, I would do, of course, Madonna, Kane, and maybe Jeremy Roenick. At least that was those were the first names that kinda came to mind for me as Cortana has left the building. Richter? Oh, Quick or Richter? I'm kind of leaning toward Quickie myself. Uh, Jake, Martin Jones is Canadian. He's from, Vancouver. Yeah, Richter would make a case. So would Ryan Miller, like prime Ryan Miller, but, yeah, I'd probably go with Quick. Or wait a sec, I mean, like, Hellebuck, I would put Hellebuck there if he would been kinda rough for him in the postseason. Phil Housley would be probably one of the other 2 pairings, he'd be up there. All these guys in their prime, Team USA wins gold. They got it, yeah. Yeah, we got about 9 minutes left here in the Flyers game. We've got Frank joining. Good luck to the Sharks. Hope y'all make it to the playoffs. My Panthers ain't doing so good. Yeah, I know it's been a very challenging year for you guys. Um, yeah, it just sucks that you're dealing with the injuries that you have all year long. But thank you. Yeah, it's been so much fun following Team Teal. I appreciate it. I think in Hellebuck's prime, like if we're talking about prime Hellebuck, I mean he's done so much in his career already, but he's got some good years left ahead. You would think too. I feel right now is the best it's been for USA born goalies. Yeah, I mean I was talking about this a little bit earlier on, but you've got, of course, Hellebuck he's still the best, right? Like I'm not going to dispute that. Hellebuck's number one, right? You've got Swayman, Ottinger, Demko. It sucks for him because he just he can't stay healthy. And those aren't the only guys. Like you've got Dustin Wolf, Gilroy, California native Dustin Wolf. Um, I know I'm leaving out probably one or two other big names there too, but yeah, USA's got some good goalies. Detroit makes the playoffs. I don't think so. I still think so. They're very comfortably in a playoff spot. There's just a really big drop off. We're starting to see a lot of separation between the playoff teams, especially in the Atlantic Division, and the rest of the pack. So I would be flabbergasted if the Red Wings can't make the playoffs. The Avalanche having a goalie crisis in the last few years. Blackwood's a stud. I love Blackwood. He's the right guy for them. And if he falters, if he gets injured or something like that, they've done a good job with developing or kind of getting Wedgwood to elevate his game. But yeah, after the Stanley Cup, they definitely had some troubles there with Alex Forgiev, as they would call him. Or Canada, sorry. Why did I think Colorado? My bad, buddy. My bad. I should have to chug a bottle of maple syrup for saying that. But Logan Thompson, give me Logan Thompson. And it's kind of a crime that Blackwood was left off of Canada's roster, frankly. But yeah, Binnington was incredible during that tournament. Maybe Ryan Miller defense. Actually, you know what? That's a pretty good chance. I kind of like what you're thinking, but don't leave out Frank Brimzik, even though he played way before either of us was born. So Frank Brimzik, I think he's a Minnesota-born goaltender. He played in the 40s, everybody. So Frank Brimzik won 2 Stanley Cups, 2 Vezinas, won the Calder Trophy, and was an All-Star 8 times. Played nearly his whole career for the Bruins, and he was also a Hart Trophy finalist 2 other times. I mean, look at his accolades. It's a small sample size. He only played 514 games, but it's really hard to match that with today's goaltenders. All right. Let's see. You're down to 8 minutes in the Flyers and Kings. What about the Avalanche and Red Wings? And Konechny is the second goal scorer, not Ristolainen. Pretty much the whole time I've had my eye on this game, it's basically been in the Kings zone for most of it. But here comes LA. Good block there by Cam York. But a turnover, here comes Quentin Byfield. Detroit gets out of depth when the more talented teams push. I mean, they're facing the wrath of the Avalanche today, given that the Avs have been on a terrible stretch of 2-4-2. As Cortana barks at something, probably the gate from the house across the street. Travis Konechny has the most goals since January 17th. The Avs are cranky. Yeah, they absolutely are. They didn't realize Housley leads all US-born defensemen in points and goals and leads all US-born players in assists. Kane needs 20 assists to pass him. Oh, really? He's still behind Housley. That actually is really impressive. I think you're making a good point in that people kind of forget about Phil Housley. Because when he played no, I think he was there. Was he there on that 92-93 team? I wanna say he was. Because that team was loaded. Because LaFontaine and Alex McGillney and Dave Andreychuk were all just absolutely shredding the NHL then. And, of course, Dominik Hasek was winning Hart trophies. Kings, Capitals, both teams picking up the pace. Detroit wilted in all those games. The Capitals have been falling off quite a bit, though. It's just outside of that game then. How do I choose the games that I stream? I mean, I know that we have a lot of people who are intrigued by the Avalanche and also the Red Wings, so I figure, this is a fun game to do. Plus, like, I don't try to I'm trying not to stream too often, but I also want to make sure that I have stuff on the calendar. So this is good because right after this game ends, the Sharks are on, and then I've got the rest of my afternoon/evening. So that's just good momentum. But yeah, basically we'll do a game like this one today, and then the next game that I'm live for, it'll be a Sharks game because just based on what I gauge from the community, they do want to see more Shark stuff, generally speaking. But I'm not going to make it all Sharks. Lightning legend Dave Andreychuk, that's right. He was, I think, what, 41 or 42 when he won his lone Stanley Cup. Dave Andreychuk, former Toronto Maple Leaf, Dave Andreychuk. Actually, Andreychuk played for a lot of different teams. But yeah, he finished his career with the Lightning winning the Stanley Cup at the age of 41. Yeah. Not too many people talk about Andreychuk. He played over 1,600 games and had over 1,300 points, and played in a high-scoring era to start his career. But of course, as he got older, then goals really went down a lot. All right, let's see here. 6 minutes left between the Flyers and Kings. Come on, Philly. But we got to get back to business here because the Avalanche and Red Wings are just about to drop the puck here for the third period. And Cam Talbot's actually in goal now for the Red Wings, everybody. So can the Red Wings pull off a miracle? I wouldn't expect that, but we'll see if they play a little bit fiercer as we're underway with the final 20, which probably will be the final 20. There we go. I'm back. Wes McCauley is the ref. The ever so demonstrable Wes McCauley. Avs Red Wings needs more hatred. Yeah, there's been just a little bit of pushing and shoving, but yeah, nothing that looks like it's going to pop off. All right, here's Larkin in transition. Feeds it back for Kane. Oh, good shot. He was going blocker side. He just missed, but I think Blackwood wasn't expecting that. Shot from Larkin and into the pads of Blackwood, and he'll cover up here. Andreychuk was a Sabre for, I think most of his, like, the overwhelming majority of his career, yeah. He played there for about 12 years. We are fans of pans. We are fans of puns on this channel. Gustafsson now taking this puck from behind the net and out to the point where Axel Sandin Pellikka is. Now DeBrincat, just relentlessly defended by Lehkonen. I've always appreciated that facet of his game. The Avs are going to settle things down from behind their net. We're actually in 4-on-4. I forgot about that. Dumped down by the Avs and retrieved by ASP. Sounds like a telecommunications company. Here he is again. And nobody's there on the wing as he throws that puck away. And now Mason Appleton, Detroit regrouping. Streaking down the wing is Appleton. Good job by Sam Malinsky to seal that puck off along the boards. And the Avs can come the other way. Hand it off to the point. And Shushkin gives it over to Burns. A broken stick, and Burns' shot goes off of Sherratt. Oh, here we go. Yeah, this is a fun lineup. I mean, it's all forwards, but Kane, Tkachuk, Kessel, Austin Matthews, TJ Oshie, Kyle Connor, Brady Tkachuk, and Jake Gensel. I mean, that's a much more exciting group of forwards than what USA would probably churn out when I was younger. I can't really name too many 30 goal scorers who were American. John LeClair is one who should not get forgotten because John LeClair is not Canadian. I think he was born in. What smells so good, babe? Oh, it's the chicken. And there you go. Look at that. I'm a magic man. Now you see me. Now you don't. Oh no! Oh no! My stream. I have to reload. Hopefully it will still play. Come on, buff streams. We respect Jake Gensel in this house. Yeah, he's been a great addition to that lineup, hasn't he? Yeah, I wouldn't say that Jake Gensel's a Hall of Famer personally, but if you give him another Stanley Cup, I think he's got a pretty good case. As long as he, is able to play out the rest of his career relatively healthy. Now, Jake Gensel was part of the 2017 Cup team, right? But he wasn't on the 2016 team, I don't think, right? Which I won't talk about 2016 anymore. Legion of Doom. Yeah, that with American-born John LeClair on Lindros's wing. Certified Penguins legend, Jay Gensel. Nebraska's own Jay Gensel. That's right. Hall of very good for Jay Gensel. I would say, like, right now, if you give him another cup and he finishes his career with, 500 goals, then certainly he would gets much stronger consideration. Gensel right now in his career has 292 goals. Let's take a look. He's what? 31, okay. And he's got 626 points. It won't be he could be point per game for another couple of years. Yeah, I think that there's a very healthy chance he gets to 1,000 points in his career, and I don't know about 500 goals, but he should be at least around like 420, 430. Do you remember the Brandon Carlo trade? I know that's starting to really haunt the Maple Leafs. I don't know if that's directed at me, Jake, because earlier I was saying, like, I don't know if he'll actually get in unless he wins the Stanley Cup. If he wins the Stanley Cup, he's in. I would love to see him get in, though. I mean, his personality. It's the Hall of Fame. It's not the Hall of doing everything right, So, best winger to ever play with Sidney Crosby. Yeah, that's true. I mean, Crosby's done so much with, not exactly a wealth of scoring talent around him. And the Leafs have, or the Lightning got Gensel's rights with a third round pick. Yeah, that was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. That was very creative, you know? I mean, he was doing good in Carolina too. It's a shame that, that they couldn't extend him, but, that's how the business is, man. All right. By the way, Flyers and Kings for anybody who's curious. 2 minutes left. Come on, Flyers. Damn it. I don't want the Kings getting a point. But maybe my Sharks will take care of business this afternoon in Calgary. All right, here's Makar at the circle, down low. Oh, I thought they were going to score there. That just looked like a typical Avalanche goal. MacKinnon. Oh my gosh, is that in or not? Nichushkin. He got robbed, absolutely robbed by Cam Talbot. It is ugly. 20 kicks. Yes, the Red Wings have received 20 kicks in the nuts. Squaw in the nuts. About 14 minutes left in regulation here. By the way, the Avs have 4 goals on just 17 shots. Detroit getting shut out so far on 24 shots from their side. All right. Second line out there for the Avalanche. Now, Emmett Finney for the Red Wings, he stayed in their lineup their whole season, right? Emmett Finney, 9 goals and 12 assists for 21 points in 55 games. Not even 16 minutes of time on ice per season or per game. 201st pick overall. I mean, Red Wings are getting a lot of value. That's good for them at least. Really? Is that how the math could work out, Chance? It's pretty damn good for the Bruins, who weren't expected to be in the playoffs this year, and they're very much alive in that conversation. Got to credit them there. First commercial break here. As yeah, I'm sorry. I wish I could say, but I don't have quite as much to share with this game. Oh no! Now Cortana's camera got shut down. See, there's Cortana. There we go. Best value ever for Detroit was Datsyuk. Zetterberg was a really late pick too, wasn't he? Yeah, Zetterberg was 210th overall, and then Datsyuk was. I thought he was undrafted, right? No, he was 6th round. I mean, take your pick, but sure. Don Sweeney might have saved his job. Yeah, really. Good point. So a repeat of Kessel for the lottery pick? Wait, was that are you talking about, I'd have to go back and revisit that trade, but that's right. It's hard to remember, like, oh, yeah, Kessel was a Bruin to start his career. Also got Fraser Minton. Yeah, that's crazy. You got him and a first for Brandon Carlo. I mean, Carlo's a good defenseman. I know things are tough for him in Toronto, but, Kings Flyers are tied at 2 heading into overtime. No, Flyers, come on. Come on, buddy. Get that dub. Actually, guys, considering that game's going to overtime, I'm gonna watch that. Kessel went to Toronto, but they didn't plan on the first rounder end up being the number 2 pick in 2010. Wow. Blackwood, by the way, just robbing James Van Riemsdyk. That pick was the eventual Cup winner, Tyler Seguin. I don't know if the Leafs would have been that good with Seguin, though. I mean, Seguin was pretty out of this world for a little while there, but like those Maple Leafs teams weren't that good to begin with, right? They got Boston. Yeah, I mean, like you had Tyler Seguin at what 21 years old or something, and you also had Mark Recchi on that team with Zdeno Chara and of course Marchand and Bergeron and Tim Thomas in goal. Is it really 5-0 now? Jeez. Mon Dieu. Parker Kelly scores from Kiviranta and Drury. We got a 5-0 game. Woof. A bad day for the Red Wings, to say the least. All right. So I'm going to just see what's happening here in overtime between the Flyers and Kings. It's Byfield in the circle. I'm so bad at Flyers players' numbers. Byfield gets tossed, by the way. Duncan, hey, welcome. Thanks for joining. Yeah, I remember the Raycroft trade quite a bit. That's crazy. And then they end up with Tuukka Rask. Rask was never a starter for a Stanley Cup winning team, but boy, oh boy, that backside for the Bruins for the longest time with Rask and Thomas before him in net was very, very difficult to be able to score 3 goals against. I don't know why the Kings keep backing their way up behind their own net. Yeah, they can't. They're having trouble getting into the neutral zone. Now here comes Byfield, and Sanheim's going to defend him. And the Kings bring it out of the zone. Boo. Here's Laferriere. Pulls up at the top of the zone. Hands it over to Fiala. Taking it behind the net as Sanheim defends him. Almost able to poke it away, Sanheim was. And now Brandt Clark at the slot. He shoots and blocked immediately. Oh, and here's a loose puck. This could be a breakaway for the Flyers. Here we go. Konechny coming in alone. He shoots. He scores. No, it hit the post. Oh, my goodness. The winner was on his stick right there. Most underrated player is Fiala. Wow, you would have him that high, right? Oh. I think he's underappreciated, but all right, now Trevor Moore for the Kings. Doughty at the point. And now Yoel Armia. It's so weird seeing him as a King for some reason. And the Kings, they take the shot, man. Stop taking the puck out of the zone. We got, I don't want to butcher your name, but good afternoon to you. Thank you for joining us. All right, Byfield's out there for the Kings again. Now Doughty at the point, feeding it down for Byfield. Nice little poke there from Zegras, who has one of the goals for the Flyers today. Byfield at the circle, he scores. Kings win. Oh, beautiful, beautiful top shelf shot there from Quentin Byfield. And the Kings hold on to win, and that does not make me a happy. That makes me a sad panda. Damn. From Algeria, really? Well, that's amazing. I don't think we've had a viewer from Algeria. Maybe one. Maybe it was you, but that is not a country I think about when I hear hockey, and so that makes me a very happy panda to hear that. But yeah, thank you for joining us. We will have another 9 minutes of action here. I mean, I was watching the Kings and the Flyers. Also an elite reference. Thank you. All lives in the east neath the willow tree. Sexual harassment. Panda. You have failed me, Flyers. Here, Cortana, you want some more treats? No, she doesn't want more treats. Yep, sports geeks, I can feel your emotions through the screen right now. But yeah, I'll take you to the end here as we've got 8 minutes and 26 seconds left as the Red Wings are being humiliated. Kitty. There's Mrs. Kitty. Everybody say hi to Mrs. Kitty. Mrs. Kitty. Oh, big girl, what's going on? I'm just discovering hockey. Oh, that's fantastic. It's a great sport. It's more enjoyable to watch in person. But I'm happy that you've discovered our channel here. And if you have any questions about it, we're happy to help you out. Guitar. To watch the Royal Rumble and the Sharks game. Yeah, Buff Streams. Buff Streams is actually a pretty good website for watching games. Is that cat a rag doll? I can do whatever I want to her. She's so chill, but she's also kind of a troublemaker. I mean, look at her. She's a big kitty. Yeah. She's so sweet. Like she'll come up to me and she's already purring. Right, sweetie. Is there anything you wanted to share? I'd have to take a look at that, Sports Geeks, but I thought he scored it first too, but I figured it just hit the post because we had a very similar instance in this Red Wings Avalanche game. All right, let's see if the Red Wings can get one. They've got 7 minutes to work with. Oh, I think you're doing a really good job with your English, so I think you're doing great. You have a couple of ragdoll cats. Yeah. Where did I get my microphone? Well, it was a gift. But it's I can't remember the model of it. I can show you what it is. It is this brand Rode, or as you would say in Danish, Rode. But one sec. Yeah. So I have an NT1. That's the type of microphone that I have. Where do I live? Well, I live in the United States and I live in Idaho. It's one of our states. So in the northwest United States. Yeah. Algeria. That's so cool. John, what's going on? Hey, your Lightning are absolutely destroying the NHL right now. Blues, well, we won't talk about them too much. Do I MTB? Do I mountain bike? I don't, but a lot of people do in Idaho. I mean, I've been mountain biking before, just many years ago. I don't know. I had to look up MTB, but mountain bike. That sounds right. Uh, yeah, Idaho. Yeah. Coke or Pepsi? Coke, but Diet Pepsi is very conflicted. Yes, I can understand that. But yes, I live in Idaho, and yeah, I don't mountain bike, but I like hiking and snowboarding and kayaking too. All right, we've got 6 minutes and 20 seconds left here, so we're getting into the later part of the period. There we go. 27-20, the shots favor the Red Wings. I got to shut my closet, though, or else the cats are going to try to get into it. All right. But I don't really drink. I can't remember the last time I had a Coke or a Pepsi. I mean, Coke Zero, sure. But I like Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper's the best. I have a family in 3 states in the USA. Oh, interesting. So have you been to the USA before, or ski, ice hockey, mountain bike, and mountaineering? Beautiful. Oh, wait. Whereabouts are you then? Because I live in Coeur d'Alene. Your mom got you may get you tickets to Lightning versus Hurricanes. Ooh, a very possible conference final preview, maybe. In Seattle. Gotcha. Well, I imagine that people are pretty excited over there right now. And, you know, we have lots of Seahawks fans here, but I hope they win, even though I'm neutral for the most part. So MacKinnon has 3 points today, 2 goals and an assist. Oh, you have family in Washington, so Seattle and Kansas and San Francisco, right on. So I used to live near San Francisco. Let's see. Went to the Oilers Bruins game this season on New Year's Eve. Nice. 2 goals for David Pastrnak. Wow, 6-2. I bet there were some other Bruins fans there too. Since the Buccaneers are not in the playoffs, you're going to go for the Seahawks. Yeah. I mean, I think most people are probably hoping Seattle wins. Not that they hate Drake May or anything like that, but it's like, yo, Patriots, I think your trophy case is full. Yeah. All right. Commercial break here. I think that's the final commercial break of the period. And then we'll see if this ends up being a 5-0 game. But as you saw earlier, the Kings hold on to beat the Flyers in overtime by a score of 3-2. That goal the winning goal, I should say, off the stick of Quentin Byfield. By the way, guys, we will be back live on Monday, so just 2 days from now at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time for Sharks versus Blackhawks. That is Celebrini versus Bedard. First game between those two guys this year. So hopefully you'll hang out with us. We'll also have a guest at intermission, and that will be Puck Guy 14 from Longtime Sharks podcast, Teal Town, USA. I'm very excited for Eric, as his name is, to make his Twisted Wrister hockey debut. And who knows? If it weren't for Eric, I might not actually be doing this. So I might not have a YouTube channel in the first place. So I'm very excited for him to join. It's fantastic. I love where I live. Like right here, this is awesome. So that's great. Your friend Jack is in Tampa for the Stadium Series game. Right on. That should that game actually means something. If the playoffs started today, those two teams, the Lightning and the Bruins, would be facing each other based on their records. NFL Hall of Fame thinks Belichick didn't win enough. Yeah, I know, that is such a joke. God damn. No wonder Bill Belichick hated the media so much. But they're not as bad as the Baseball Writers Association. That is the absolute most smug group of professionals in sports. Thank you, 20 Kicks. I appreciate that. We'll see you around. Coming back to the Bay and seeing a Sharks game anytime soon. I'm not planning to, but God, if they're in the playoffs, that'd be so freaking fun just to hop over there for like 2 nights and go. But no, it's probably not in the cards, unfortunately. But you know, at some point, I've seen only one game since I moved out of state. All right, we're down to 3 minutes left here, so take me home. Come on. Hopefully, not too many whistles. That's the worst when you're waiting for a blowout to end and it's just whistle after whistle. Not to mention the Sharks are on in 20 minutes. Okay, I can stomach that. Speaking of stomach, I'm hungry. I need a sandwich after this. Adam says, I have grown up on the correct side of Sweden, which is the Western country for those of you who don't know. I don't know the difference really between the Swedish regions. I just know that the Arctic Circle is, in the far north, and that's about it. South Central Florida. South Central. Yeah, I'm not so knowledgeable of Florida to pinpoint where that is, because like Tampa is kind of central, just on the western side, and Orlando's just a bit north of there, northeast of there. Red Wings have been pretty weak recently. Well, the challenge is that Buffalo and Montreal just keep winning. Another Florida man in the chat. You love to see it. Sarasota. Okay. I just know the name, but I've been to Florida, I think 3 times, 4 times technically, but it's been a while. I think I was there last like 8 years ago. So it's pretty far from where I am right now. Well, actually, California and Florida are almost as far as you can get as well. But yeah, I don't know which state I'll visit next. All right, Avalanche. Just gonna flip this into the Red Wings zone with a minute left and not really care too much about what happens after that. Down to 40 seconds. So MacKinnon, player of the game, 2 goals and an assist. The other goals for the Avalanche, by the way, I know Russ Colton got 1. That's his 7th of the year. Shoot, why can't I think I lost track of things here. So yeah, the goals today coming off the stick of Burns. He got the scoring started, 9th of the year for Burnsy. Then MacKinnon, Colton, MacKinnon again, that's his 40th of the year, and Parker Kelly with the lone goal in this third period. All right, guys. Well, that's a final from Detroit. Very poor performance for the Red Wings as the Avalanche wake up and actually not only get back in the win column, but very convincingly by 5-0. Everybody, I'm hungry. I've got a Sharks game to watch in just a little bit here, so I'm going to be signing off. Before you go, if you could, please do leave a like, and don't forget we're back on Monday. So Sharks and Blackhawks will have Puck Guy 14 from Teal Town, USA, as our intermission guest. Thank you so much for tuning in. Pleasure meeting all of you, especially those coming from Sweden and Algeria. That is wonderful to see. All right. I'm going to look up that name so I can pronounce it correctly too. But I will see you guys again very soon, especially if you're in our Discord. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll talk to you again not too long from now.